Most people think that real estate is just buying a house and getting a rent. That's completely wrong. Real estate has 5 different ways to make money, and today let's explore that. Real estate is actually the only asset class that I know of where it'll pay you 5 different ways at the same time. Most people barely understand one. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can really build wealth using real estate, whether you're buying a single family house, a 48 unit, a duplex, or your first rental. The important part of this journey is just getting started, and here's how. So if you're new to this and you want step-by-step instructions, listen to this whole video and then get the ebook in my link below. So let's start out with the thing that everyone loves to talk about, which is called cash flow. So cash flow is simple. It's left after the expenses. So you have your gross rental income. Then you might have some other fees like insufficient funds fee, application fee, anything like that. Then you subtract out your expenses. These are your vacancy, the taxes, any sort of repairs and maintenance that have to be done, your insurance, your R&M, your any sort of thing that has to be related to operating the property. It could be pest control, utilities, anything like that, management, vacancy. So most people also forget about repairs because they just assume that, a property is going to be automatically 100% occupied and it's going to just operate like clockwork. But the thing is that property will break down once in a while and you need to have reserves to actually pay for it. They also forget about capital expenditures. So a capital expenditure is when something like an HVAC or a roof breaks or has a leak and you have to fix it. It's improving the property, not just fixing it. They also unrealistically assume that the property will be 100% occupied. This is not necessarily true. The best economical occupancy is around 95%. 95% means that your rents aren't too high, nor are they too low. It's just right. It's in that Goldilocks zone. But the real truth of the matter is that cash flow does not make you rich. Cash flow keeps you in the game of real estate. It pays your bills and then some. It'll cover the downside and it gives you a little bit of breathing, but it does not make you rich unless you've paid off your property. So think of it like it's defending your wealth building strategy. It's not the offense. It's not sexy, but it keeps you in the game and it keeps you from losing. In today's high interest rate society, cash flow is basically non-existent, especially if you're dealing with older properties. The second part in having real estate and where it pays you is appreciation. So before you say, Mo, appreciation is gambling, hear me out. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about speculation. I'm talking about forced appreciation. This is a kind of appreciation that you can control. So let's talk about it. Paint, floors, better tenants. All of these are things that you as a landlord can control. These things will increase your NOI. For example, you can renovate your laundry room or you can add in storage, which can increase your rent and previously have an amenity which people were not paying for and start charging for it. These will increase your net operating income, or the amount of rental income minus your expenses is called NOI. If NOI goes up, then the property value automatically rises if you're buying multifamily or commercial real estate. Even in a flat market, if you can find a building with under market rents, add in laundry or add in RUBS or rated utility billing systems where you'll bill back tenants for some of their utilities. If you can find any way to add to your bottom line, it's increasing your property value. So think of it like this. You buy a 50-unit apartment building, you're under market rent by $100 per unit. If you're able to increase that, so call it $100 times 50 units, $5,000 per month, times 12 is $60,000 in top line income. Assume a 50% expense ratio, so you have $30,000 in additional income by just finding the right deal and bumping markets up, or bumping up the rent up to market rent. You've just created hundreds of thousands of dollars in value, and that's the wealth that's manufactured. Real estate is one of the only asset classes where you can actually forcibly appreciate your property by putting in sweat equity. So number 3 in the ways that you can make money in real estate is through loan amortization. So loan amortization is every month that your tenants are paying down that loan for you, they are paying down your mortgage. This is amazing because you buy the property, you put the tenants in, and you're not doing anything. They're paying your loan down. Every single month as your loan gets paid down, the amount of equity that you build increases. If you think about it, if you have a $1 million loan, the tenants are slowly paying for it. And then every single month, they'll chip away at your loan balance. And maybe after 10, 15, 30 years, you have a house that's free and clear, and you haven't done any physical work for it. So you don't work extra hours, you don't have to be a genius, and you don't have to do anything special. You just hold on to a property, you make sure that it's in good condition, and the tenants will pay it off. You provide a safe and affordable place to live, and sooner or later, you will have a free and clear property. So over 5, 10, 15 years, the effect of this can be huge, and it's unavoidable. The loan will get paid down no matter what, assuming that you're paying down your loan and that you have tenants in place. The fourth way that you can get paid through real estate is tax benefits. Now, this is the part that nobody teaches you, and frankly, if you're a real estate professional, so Google up what a real estate professional is, it's a tax status where you can write off a bunch of depreciation. If you make, I believe less than $150,000, you'll have to double check and make sure that you consult a CPA. You can write off some of your active income with passive paper losses on real estate. So when you buy real estate, the government incentivizes you for improving housing in the form of tax benefits. Some of these could be a depreciation, tax deductions, tax write-off, mileage deductions, certain expenses. You have mortgage interest that you could write off, and even someday you could look at bonus depreciation cost segregation. If you're a very high-paying individual, maybe in the medical field or legal field, and if you buy an Airbnb, you can use that purchase to offset your income. And in certain cases, depreciation alone can wipe out the majority of the taxes from your cash flow. So real estate lets you earn income while the IRS barely taxes due to artificial paper losses. Now we could have a whole video about this, but I'm not a CPA. I'm not your tax advisor, but this is the basis of why real estate is so fantastic as a tax loss vehicle. Now the rich understand this. The rich will buy real estate even if it just breaks even because they have made a ton of money. Now let's think about this. Say that you're a real estate professional, you have an income of $1 million. Now you can either pony up and pay Uncle Sam between $300,000 or $350,000 depending on what state you live in. It could even be as high as $470,000 on $1 million income if you live in California with a very poor tax structuring. Or what you can do is you can buy a $600,000-$700,000 property, run it as an Airbnb, and then offset that against your primary income. However, it comes with a lot of fine print, and you have to do your due diligence to see if this is the right fit for you. Consult a tax lawyer, consult a CPA in your particular case. This is not financial advice. Number 5, and my favorite, is probably the fact that real estate is an inflation hedge. I like the stock market, I like gold, I like crypto, but real estate is the only thing that I can actually touch. As cost of living rises, what else? Usually rents, usually property values, and replacement costs. If inflation is eating the balance in your bank account, real estate is generally the only asset where it'll actually make you richer if you own it. Think about it, if you bought a house in 2020 versus 2025. If you bought a house in 2020, it might have been $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. That same house in 2025 is probably at least up $100,000 or $150,000 depending on what area you had bought in. So the mortgage payment stays generally fixed, but historically rents have gone up. Your debt becomes cheaper and your debt gets paid down over time, and the asset becomes a lot more expensive. It'll rise in value, the debt gets paid down, and you build up a lot of equity. So inflation hurts people that save a bunch of cash, but it really helps people who own assets. So when people are saying, hey Mo, why do you buy real estate? There's a plethora of reasons. Why not stocks? Why not crypto? It's pretty simple. Stocks will give you one form of returns. Crypto will give you another form of returns. But it's all pretty, I don't want to say risky. Crypto's a little bit risky. Stocks are a little bit safer. But real estate gives you 5 ways to get paid. Cash flow, appreciation, loan paydown, tax benefits, inflation protection. They all work at the same time. And this is the reason why the average millionaire owns real estate. It's really simple. It's really easy. It's been done before. It's arguably the world's oldest profession. And you can be a millionaire just by holding a few properties for 10, 15 years. You don't have to do much, and you can do it if you have a regular 9 to 5. So if you learned something from this video, hit the bell icon, subscribe to Idiot's Guide to Real Estate. We will do a lot of long form videos. And if you guys want to learn more about real estate, click the link in the description and get my ebook. It's called Idiot's Guide to Real Estate, or the Mo Money Manifesto, a no BS guide to investing in real estate. So welcome to the Idiot's Guide to Real Estate. We break down real estate and make it easy to learn.